now that, okay, so fentanyl's third generation, now they're cracking down on fentanyl. Everybody's aware of what fentanyl is. Well, here, just in time, comes 7-OH. Nobody knows about it. It's this obscure plant in Southeast Asia. What are we doing about this? It's available at head shops. When Sean Ryan tweeted about our episode about gas station heroin, former Congressman Matt Gaetz replied, or I should say, could have been our Attorney General, replied, how many people have died from this? And it's something that he's posted on X a couple of times in a very dismissive way, like, oh, this can't be a problem. Like, how many people have died from this? Where are your stats? And Matt knows that that's a bad faith question because no one's been measuring for this. No one's been testing for this. Every 7-OH overdose or death has been assumed to be caused by other drugs or not detected at all because you're not looking for it. You can't find something if you don't know what you're looking for. And that applies hugely to a drug that you have to deliberately test for in an autopsy or use like some kind of product that's been developed for you specifically to test for that.
And it is, my God, man. You know what the scarier element there could be? Like with the girl who bought it off Snapchat? Because my mind goes to this. I don't know if this is realistic, but it feels unfortunately like it'd be realistic. I think it'd be horrible if it was 7-OH, but could also be a great example to prove why something like this is out there and should never be on the market. However, I wonder if she bought like a regular vape and somehow, because this is such an unwatched industry or whatever, it was fucking sprinkled with fentanyl or something. As dumb as that sounds, maybe it's not dumb.
Yeah.
You know, maybe and if there's people in the comments who can speak to anything that is similar to that you've been around or heard of or whatever, please pipe in here. I would love to hear. I mean, I'd love to hear, but I definitely want to get some evidence on that. But it's just terrifying. And like the text that you're sending me, showing me these ads with stuff, it's like, you know.
Yeah, patent pending. They came up with a formula for vapable 7-OH.
Like, I want stuff that just has fucking real THC. Like, how hard is this?
Yeah. Well, I would say, these products, you're deliberately, no one's accidentally manufacturing a vape product that has this in this. You know, I've talked with, dozens, hundreds of legal marijuana business operators in Maine. And if you walked into one of their manufacturing facilities, you'd be like, wow, this is state-of-the-art science. Everything is like clean, controlled, like they're testing, different temperatures to decarboxylate their marijuana to get it to exactly the way they want it. Everything is controlled. They take pride in the purity of what they're supplying, but it's because they're honest, they're ethical, and they're following the rules,
Right.
But they also care about their customers. If you don't ever know your customer, if you're never going to see your customer, the hell do you care? Like if you're just bulk shipping these things, your customers just want repeat customers themselves. They just want people who come back to the head shop and the tobacco shop all the time. And a 7-OH addict is a very good customer because they're
consistent.
They're less likely to die than a fentanyl addict. They're going to be able, from my experience, from what I've seen from the people who have given me feedback, they're able to hold down jobs and they're going to pay you, $100, $300 a week. And you're going to swipe that credit card and it's going to go right into the existing payment rails.
Have you written stories on people who are known to have died of 7-OH?
There's been a ton. So this
like that you got personally involved with knowing the details though?
No. So I've interacted with some people who have, given me their testimonies about their experiences with 7-OH and how rapidly it took over their lives. But there was I guess there was maybe a day after. Yes, here we go. So this is September. Yes. So this, I think, was 7-OH products out in LA, but there was a guy in Richmond who, within the last month, walked into a smoke shop and got some tablets of 7-OH and died in the parking lot.
Oh my God!
And as is often the case, it could be that it's comorbid with other things, like maybe he was drinking, maybe he was using this drug, maybe he was using that drug. We don't know if it was actually if you can just blame this. But there was also more recently, there was a guy out in Ohio who just bought some tablets at a gas station and wasn't intending to use a hard narcotic and wound up overdosing. So it's catching people you wouldn't expect or stereotypically think are junkies or drug users, just normal everyday people who happen to buy the wrong thing. There you go, right there. Columbus wife blames 70H.
Blames 70H for husband's death.
He'd like text. He like
ban remains on hold.
I think he like sent texts to his brother.
Young family.
He sent texts to his brother saying like, yeah, just wanted something.
He just wanted something to give him energy, give him a mood booster. Yeah. Oh my god.
Which is how these products are marketed.
Have you talked to my friend Rocco Vargas yet?
I have, yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Rocco knows a lot about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's deep in this. It's like anything, you know, you've got something, huge amounts of money to be made by having flexible moral principles. That's a recipe for organized crime.
Yeah.
And if it's lucrative enough, that's a recipe for state-backed organized crime.
State-backed organized crime, Jesus Christ.
Like the Chinese marijuana cartels in Maine. That's what that is. State-backed, state-sanctioned, state, you know, the tacit approval, explicit approval.
Yep.
Maybe some help along the way. Like, you know, the fentanyl industry in America is, you know, supported by the CCP, giving pill presses at cost to the Mexican cartels.
Oh yeah, dude. I told you about that old Rogan podcast with that guy Ben Westhoff when we were on the phone. I mean, shout out to that guy Ben. That podcast was probably from like 2019. He wrote that book Fentanyl Inc.
Yeah.
Falls into this story, had never covered anything like that. Talks to someone on a totally separate story who mentions fentanyl. He goes, "Oh, that's interesting." Starts investigating it. Realizes, holy shit, this is a story. Turns into a book. Savage guy flies out to China and says, "Oh, let's by himself." As an author, let's see how easy it is to get it. Goes to the fucking lab and they're like, do you want it by two? You know?
Yeah.
It's like, it's that easy.
Yeah. Yeah. They have no problem exporting to America substances that they would hand down the death penalty for selling domestically. And you don't do that without nation state level approval.
100%.
You know, you don't. I mean, and they're subsidizing it. They know what they're doing. And you said reverse opium war. I mean, it's chemical warfare.
100%.
And what we're seeing now is, you know, they did this with fentanyl, and now you've got the fourth generation of the opium addiction crisis. You starts out with the Sacklers and the prescription drugs, and you know the Federation of State Medical Boards writes a book about how safe prescription opioids are, and then asks Purdue Pharma, you know, for some money to put that book in every doctor's office, and you know, then you wind up with every guy who like hurt his back on the job site gets a prescription for OxyContin. And then suddenly there's this opioid crisis. And then everyone realizes, oh, this is bad. And they take away the prescription opioids. And then addicts have to go out and find street drugs. So they find heroin. And then the heroin, you know, that's got some issues with it. But hey, here's this new synthetic product, fentanyl. We don't have to grow our poppies in Afghanistan or Thailand. You know, we've got this synthetic compound that's been around for quite a while. But now we're going to start putting it in pill presses that make it look like it's an Adderall or an OxyContin. Yep. And we're going to sell it by the bushel fucking basket into the United States. And it's so potent, you know, we can smuggle huge amounts of it. And now we're cracking down on like the border, and we seem to be having some success. You know, Trump's like, you know, using the space laser on the Venezuelan boats, trafficking this stuff in.
I think Eric Prince might be doing a little something too.
Yeah, he might have a little something involved with that.
I don't know anything. That's a speculation.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you were speculating about what Eric might be doing, tell him to come up to Maine. Let's, you know, I've been wondering why.
Maybe I can make that happen. I don't know.
I've been wondering why the Maine National Guard isn't called out to dismantle some of these sites. Yeah. Oh, I bet he can. If I could find him, you know, like
he'll find him with his finger on a button that can do something about it.
Yeah. Well, something needs to be done. But now that so fentanyl's third generation, now they're cracking down on fentanyl. Everybody's aware of what fentanyl is. Well, here, just in time, comes 70H. Nobody knows about it. It's this obscure plant in Southeast Asia. What are we doing about this? It's available at head shops. When Sean Ryan tweeted about our episode about gas station heroin, former Congressman Matt Gaetz replied, or I should say, could have been our Attorney General, replied, how many people have died from this? And it's something that he's posted on X a couple of times in a very dismissive way, like, oh, this can't be a problem. Like, how many people have died from this? Where are your stats? And Matt knows that that's bad faith question because no one's been measuring for this. No one's been testing for this. Every 7-OH overdose or death has been assumed to be caused by other drugs or not detected at all because you're not looking for it. You can't find something if you don't know what you're looking for. And that applies hugely to a drug that you have to deliberately test for in an autopsy or use like some kind of product that's been developed for you specifically to test for that. Like the police now have strips that they can, you put the strip on the ground and you sprinkle some white powder on it and a drop of water. And if it turns this color, fentanyl. They've got that product now. You don't have that for 7-OH. It's much harder to figure out that that's what you're dealing with. So Matt is out there saying, well, this is only going to be a problem if we start to see how many people have to die before we're concerned about this and before it's okay to talk about this.
Yeah,
and
maybe
before
we
it's
should
not
get
just
out
like
in front of it.
Yeah, I think he said 500 people a year die from Tylenol or something. Well, I'm certain that there's more pain and suffering caused by 7-OH. And that attitude, it also makes me wonder if there's, are we seeing an emergent 7-OH lobby that's going to come out and say, oh no, this is great.
God.
There's actually, there is some, propaganda trade group. I don't know if it's a 501c3 or a 501c4, but it's called the 7 Hope Alliance.
Referring to 7-OH?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
God. No, don't even give them. Yeah.
Oh no, you're gonna want it. Go pull
We're
it up.
gonna give them press.
Yeah. Pull it up. They could use some press. The 7-OH Alliance. They're putting 7-OH forward as a tool for harm reduction. If you see the woman on the left here,
like
hiding,
Suboxone or something.
No, they're not saying not so much. They're saying it's like an herbal remedy. It's like a natural.
Jesus
it's like a natural
Christ.
herbal way for addicts to transition off of the drug.
Jail.
So this woman on the left, though, her name's Jackie Subek, and I'm sure she's a wonderful woman who has just totally done everything by the books, lawfully. She's advocating for a natural solution. I'm sure she just wants the best for everybody in America. It might just be a coincidence that Jackie, on her professional profiles, boasts singularly of her longstanding deep ties to the People's Republic of China, including going into China, learning how their businesses operate, sourcing products, manufacturing, whatever, in China. Spent 15 years in China, according to the biography that she advertises herself and her services.
We're not saying anything. We're just reporting publicly available facts.
And
I'm sure Jackie's doing nothing wrong. I'm sure all of her ducks are in a row, and this is completely above board, and I'm not suggesting anything, and I know you aren't either.
Yeah.
But that's quite interesting. Nice to meet you, Jackie. That's fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for checking out this clip. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like button on this video. It is a huge, huge help. And if you'd like to check out this clip's full podcast episode, that link is in the description below or right here. And finally, you can follow me on Instagram and X by using the links in my description below.